Welcome to this week's Candidate Voices with 5051 Savannah, the series that brings you 5-minute interviews with candidates from Georgia's 1st Congressional District, U.S. House Election 2026. We welcome any candidates running for this office who meet our mission of upholding the Constitution and ending executive overreach to join us. Each of our candidates receives the same question in advance. Welcome to week 9 of Candidate Voices. I'm Robin from 5051 Savannah, here with Randy Zurcher. Welcome, Randy.
Thanks.
In recent years, we've seen political disagreements sometimes spill over into violence. If you were elected, how would you respond to incidents of political violence, both in condemning it and in preventing it from happening again?
Wow. Robin, thanks again for having me and letting me speak to y'all like this. It's really been good. That is a smart and timely question, especially in the light of the recent assassination of Charlie Kirk. So I just want to say before I even start, no matter what our political differences are, violence is never acceptable. It tears at the fabric of our democracy, and we must stand together in rejecting it. Now, having said that, I feel like if I am elected to Congress, my job would be to balance principle, leadership, and practical solutions. So, as far as an immediate response to an incident like a very public shooting, or I mean, to an incident like this, first of all, I would give unequivocal condemnation. I would make it clear that violence has no place in a democracy, no matter who commits it or why. Um, I would try to, as much as possible, respond with empathy and solidarity, acknowledging the harm to the victims, the families, and the communities that are affected. I would also, though, want to protect democratic norms. So part of that would be just emphasizing that disagreements must be resolved through debates, through organizing, through elections, not intimidation or violence. Now, when it comes to prevention and long-term solutions, first of all, we need to lower the temperature. I would commit to being a leader who argues passionately, but without dehumanizing my opponents. I would model respectful but strong disagreement, and especially with this Trump administration. I would try to form as much as possible community partnerships, working with faith leaders, unions, school and civic groups, just to promote dialogue and promote peaceful problem solving. I would also want to protect voting and civic engagement and strengthen protections for poll workers, for protesters, and for journalists who are often the targets of political violence. And I would want to invest in security and preparedness. And to do that, we would need to support our local law enforcement and local governments in keeping public spaces safe, but at the same time, balance that with protecting civil liberties. And this is important. Now, if I'm elected, I will commit to several policies when it comes to legislative action. I would support federal protections and back stronger penalties for political intimidation or violence. I would counter disinformation. I would fund civic education and responsible media literacy programs, since misinformation often fuels violence. And I would also address root causes in pushing for economic fairness, access to health care, excuse me, and community investment, since hopelessness and alienation can be exploited by and is exploited by extremists. So the bottom line here is, as a member of Congress, I will be swift in condemnation, steady in defense of democracy, and proactive in building systems that prevent violence before it starts. Now, having said that, I need to talk just a little bit about the recent killing of Charlie Kirk. I am so sorry for his parents. I mean, for his family, for his children, and for all the people who loved him. I've not celebrated his death, and I haven't seen many who have, and I don't plan to. But let's be straight, Charlie Kirk was no saint. And as far as lionizing him, flying flags at half staff, he was a racist and misogynist, and he spoke hate. So as far as giving him medals after his death, I'm not for it. And I'm especially concerned with a president who wants to get people fired just for speaking the truth. And the corporations who kowtow to him, including MSNBC with Matthew Dowd, just telling the truth, and of course ABC with recent Jimmy Kimmel suspension, I guess it is, because he got feelings because Donald Trump got his feelings hurt. And one other thing I want to mention is we talk about of political violence, and we think of these particular things that happen to people, these acts of violence, but there are other acts of political violence that are going on all the time. Health insurance cartels that pay lawmakers to ensure their stranglehold on Americans' medical treatment. How many have died from this kind of quiet violence? Gerrymandering is political violence. Cutting SNAP benefits. How many kids are going to go hungry? That's political violence. Reducing earned benefits for VA and Social Security. You know, how many people will suffer and how many people will die? Cutting Medicaid so our hospitals aren't there. So there are many causes of political violence. There are many forms of political violence, and we need to fight all of them. Definitely the ones that are obvious, like the Charlie Kirk assassination and things like that. But also we need to think about these more insidious and subtler forms. Thanks again so much for the time. Please go to randyfordgeorgia.com for more information. Thanks.